Hey everyone, Tech Steve here, and on this video I'm going to show you guys everything you need to know if you've been thinking about buying the new Q80B. Now, I will tell you that I can't really recommend the 50-inch at the price point, and I'll tell you later on in the video why that is, but on this video we're going to talk about the design of it. I'm going to show you guys the rear panel, we're going to do some demos, and a whole lot more. So sit back and relax, and let's get started. If you was to see this Q80B in the showroom, I will tell you that the television looks premium. It has a black Titan finish, and I will tell you that the bezels look extremely thin. Looking at the top here, again, it looks really nice, and it goes all the way over to the side. On the bottom of the television, there's a Samsung logo that you can make adjustments by pressing the button right below it. And with this floating design, this TV looks like it's hovering off of your table. Now on the back of it, you have a plate that you can take off and do wire maintenance, but overall, this TV looks good. So now we're going to talk about the panel itself. First of all, this is QLED, meaning that it has dual backlights, and what that's going to do for you is give you a much broader range of colors. In addition to that, make the TV just a little bit brighter than the other ones on the market. And here's a chart of the different sizes. So you can see that the 50-inch is a 60 Hertz television, where all the other sizes are 120 Hertz. And the 55-inch model is a IPS panel instead of a VA panel, which is very confusing for consumers. And with this research, I really think the 65-inch and larger is going to be your sweet spot because you get the best of both worlds. You're going to get enhanced contrast by being a VA panel, and two, you're going to be able to do those 120 Hertz gaming options if you have a PS5 or Xbox Series X. The Q80B also uses the quantum processor for 4K upscaling, but keep in mind when it comes to upscaling, you need to have a really good signal to start off with. So if you're upscaling 1080p, it's going to make everything look more like 4K. However, if you have old footage like a VCR or anything that you can convert to work in this TV that's low resolution, it's not going to be able to do a good job at that. And you will be impressed if you watch a lot of 4K HDR content because the Q80B has the Quantum HDR 12X processor built right in. And Samsung uses the X series to determine how bright a television is going to be. For example, the 12X times 100 means that this TV can do up to 1200 nits at max peak brightness. So it's going to look really good on HDR content. The 50-inch version Q80B has the HDR, the HDR10, HLG, adaptive picture where it adjusts itself with the lighting in the room, and motion accelerator turbo. However, all the other sizes has the same features. Additional to that, it has HDR10 Plus for gaming. It has adaptive HDR10 Plus. It has the motion accelerator turbo plus, which is great for 120 Hertz gaming. I also want to point out that this TV uses full array backlights, and it does have what they call Supreme UHD dimming for better contrast. So I'm about to show you guys a few tests that I did on this television. I'm going to tell you that it performed way above my expectations, and if you're the type of person who doesn't play games, the 50-inch will be perfect for you. However, if you're getting into gaming and more, it is worth the investment to go with a 65-inch or larger. So the first thing I want to show you guys is the motion test. So on the top line, you can see it's not perfect, but overall it's pretty smooth compared to some other television. And keep in mind, this TV is in cinema mode, and I didn't make any adjustments on it whatsoever from the factory. And when it comes to uniformity, you can see that all the corners are not showing any type of vignetting or bleed through. So it's doing a really good job there. But the test that really stood out was doing contrast. I tried the star fields, I tried dots, I tried so many different contrast tests on this television, and it did a great job at everything that I threw at it. Now, if you have a IPS panel or older TV, blooming can be a problem, but after running some tests on this particular TV, it seemed to do a really good job making sure that everything stayed intact, and I didn't see much blooming, nor did I see any ghosting. That would be a deal breaker on this Q80B. Being that this is a VA panel, the viewing angles are just like any other panel. And when it comes to viewing angles, you're definitely going to lose saturation whenever you go to the side, but as you go to the center, all the colors come back. And that's what they call a sweet spot when it comes to VA panels. And you won't have these type of problems as bad if you go with IPS. Now we're going to talk about the rear panel, and I will tell you that this TV has built-in wire maintenance through these lines that goes to the center, but here's can be an issue. If you have a thick HDMI cable like this one, it's not going to fit in that groove. You need to buy thin ones like this, and as you feed them through the center here, you would then snap on this back cover, and that keeps all the wires from being exposed on the side. Additional to that, this TV has these slots up here on the top, and this allows hot air out of the cabinet to keep the TV cooler. Also on the back of the TV, you're going to find your power cord input, and it does have grooves for wire maintenance, and there's holes on the back of it so you can easily mount it on the wall. I do believe this television uses M8 screws, and here's all the different sizes so you can choose the correct VESA mount for whatever television you decide to buy. Now when it comes to inputs, the 50-inch model has 2 USBs, a fiber optic output, 4 HDMI 2.0s, and one of them is for eARC for soundbars. Additional to that, you have a LAN connection for hooking up to a router, a EX link for service guides or connecting it to presentation software, as well as an ATSC 2.0 TV tuner. And this is a shame because the 50-inch has a 60 Hz panel. You don't get those premium inputs because the panel cannot support it. However, if you get the 55 or larger, you're going to be able to get the HDMI 2.1 on all 4 inputs, and that's going to be great for people who want to hook up the newer generation consoles.
Roadblock ahead of you. Take a right.
When it comes to gaming, you're going to really enjoy this television if you're doing everything at 60 Hz. I took the Xbox Series X and I tried to put it through the test to see if I could get more resolution out of it, and this is what I got. So looking at the details, you can see that this TV does not support 120 Hz, but again, if you get those larger sizes, you have no problem. But let's go and check a few other things. Under display options, I can do 440, 1080p, or 720p. And when I switch to resolution, I still don't see an option for 120, so let's go down to 1080p. Even at 1080p, it will not do 120. So now let's manually override the system and see if we can get it to switch. If I go over here and I go back to 1440, you see there's an option for 60 Hz, but if I toggle over to 120, this is what happens. I get this mode is not supported. Now under 1080p, I still have an option to go down to 120 Hz, and let's see what happens. I get the same mode that this does not support 120 Hz, no matter what setting I use. Now you can see why the 50-inch may not be the best value at 60 Hz, because even the Samsung TU7000, which is their entry level from 2020, can do 1080p at 120 Hz, where this more expensive television can't. So what I'm thinking is that this TV has Tizen 6.5, which is a new operating system. I think it just needs an update to fix that so you can do some at least 1080p gaming at 120 Hz. And here's some other specs I want to share on this particular model. First of all, besides the 60 Hz, I did an input lag test and it has 3 settings, and the lowest settings I was able to get is 11.5 milliseconds. It does support auto low latency as well as VRR whenever using FreeSync. It also has a feature called Gaming Motion Plus, Super Ultra Wide Gaming View Plus. It does have on-screen graphics. And this model again has Motion Accelerator Turbo, not the Plus. And here's what the gaming on-screen menu looks like. So you can change the input lag to go fast all the way to the fastest. Over here you can go from standard, and you can change these different settings for gaming. So it depends on what you're playing, and that's going to also change the input lag. Over here you have the screen size, and some of these are grayed out. You also have TV speakers. And this is if you have a receiver or a Bluetooth speaker hooked up. You have a help guide, and then over here you have gaming settings that takes you to the main menu. And inside of here, you can have surround sound to immerse yourself. You can change the black levels, and you do have what they call Game Motion Plus. And this is where you can reduce or increase the judder and play LED clear motion. It could be this TV or the game, but you can see Game HDR is grayed out, and I'm thinking is because this is the 60 Hz model and you need those larger sizes. Here's a remote control that comes with it, and pretty much all the QLED new models. Over here you have a microphone, so you can use voice command for Bixby, Amazon Alexa, as well as Google Assistants. Over here you have multi-view, so you can play your phone as well as an app at the same time. Now this is your home button to go to your main screen. And I will tell you, this is your volume rocker, but if you press the center, that is a mute control, as well as a channel changer. So you can use Samsung Plus and some hotkeys at the bottom for Netflix, Samsung TV Plus, Amazon Prime, and Disney. On the back of it, there's a solar panel, and on the bottom of it, there's a USB slot so you can charge it. Now, we're not gonna spend too much time on this, and I can make individual videos if you wanna learn more about the operating system, but this is the new Tizen 6.5. As you can see, all the icons are here on the side. You have a search feature, you have ambient mode, which I've been using throughout this video to display pictures on it, and that has a new feature called NFT, so you can buy your own pictures and own it. Next, you have your media, and that basically shows all the different applications. And then over here, you have your menu, which goes into your settings. And down here, you have all kind of different picture settings, sound settings, everything that you need. Over here, it shows connected devices. So anything you plug into the back of it, it's gonna show like the Xbox here, any USBs plugged into it, as well as connecting it to a PC, it'll all be right here. Now, when it comes to multi-view, this is a feature where you can have an application on one side of the screen and display your smartphone on the other side of the screen. In addition to that, they do have some applications built into this television. If you hook up a webcam, you can use it to monitor yourself while you're doing workouts, which is pretty cool. Other things I want to talk about is that if you go into your settings here, you have your picture mode, sound settings, and on this TV, you can hook up your speakers, and if you plug in certain devices, you can play your audio out of 2 sets of speakers, which is a cool feature. And LG's been doing that for years. Over here you have connection, where you can see your network, you can change your inputs, gaming mode, and yes, this TV does have Apple AirPlay, but it doesn't have Apple HomeKit, so you can send your iPhone over to it, as well as screen sharing from like a Samsung device. It'll work just fine. Under broadcasting, you have different providers, so you can hook up an antenna to it. It doesn't have the newer ATSC 3.0 tuner for 4K, but it will do over-the-air up to 1080p. And then over here, under general and privacy, you have features like your intelligent mode. You can set up your voice commands, and that's gonna work with Google, Alexa, as well as Bixby. Over here, you have system management, where you can you can put a PIN number on it, set up your Samsung account, and then your power and energy savings mode, as well as your screen options. So for the most part, that's pretty much everything you need to know about this operating system. Samsung does have a robust application store, so you can find just about any apps that you like. In fact, I think Samsung has more apps than all its competitors out there. So that'll be a good way if you want to look for apps and find one that you like. And one last thing I need to say about that is that you have to log into a Samsung account to be able to download them. And if you look up here, I've already logged into this account, and you can see all the different applications right there. So that's the operating system in a nutshell, and I'm pretty sure you'll find whatever applications that you need. So let's talk about some other features TV have. First of all, it does have built-in calibration. You would need to download the Samsung SmartThings application. And once you got that installed, then this TV can calibrate using a current smartphone. So right here I have the iPhone, and what it's gonna do is shoot out different patterns. It's gonna take the camera in the phone, and it's gonna adjust and give you calibration capabilities. It took about 5 or 6 minutes, but this is what the calibration looks like. This is after calibration, and this is before. After and before. Another feature I like about this TV is that it has a web browser. So if I pull up the internet, I can use the remote control to look through different websites or anything I need to visit. However, if you have a keyboard, you just plug this into the back of it, and now you can use a keyboard and a mouse and use it like a computer. The only thing I will tell you that it will work on HTML5 video sites, but it will not work on some of the sites that has certain type of video files. Another feature I want to show you guys is using a standard thumb drive. What I'm going to do is just plug it here in the back of the television, and you can see USB right there. and then it loads up automatically. Now I haven't tried this on hard drives, but I know it does work on thumb drives. And you can see, you can go through here, you can play music, it does photos. Let's say for example, I got music samples right there. If I want to play something, I can just press on it. Works great. And I will tell you, the speakers on this TV are really great for TV speakers. So the big question is, would I recommend this television? And I'm gonna say, if you go with a 65-inch or larger, you're definitely gonna be happy with this television. And I will tell you that this is not a sponsored video. I do not work for Samsung. I paid for this particular television out of my own pocket, so Samsung has nothing to do with these results. But again, I've tested a lot of TVs, and I will say that there's some other televisions I'm gonna be bringing to the channel. And unfortunately, because this is 60 hertz, I had to send it back and order something else, because at the price of this unit, which I'll leave in the description below, it's kind of expensive for a 50-inch. So again, 65, I think you're gonna be fine and get the best colors and details. So if you like this new format of videos, please let me know in the comments below. Or if you're thinking about buying a new television, what kind of TV are you looking to get? I'm Tech Steve. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace!